Hey friend, John McLennan here, and in this video I want to share with you how I approach soloing over Pink Floyd's classic song, Money. Now, this is in the key of B minor, and I'm going to be sharing with you some scale ideas as well as 3 classic Gilmour style licks. So let's get straight into it here. Now, when it comes to the guitar solo of this song, the solo is happening over basically a 12-bar blues, and we're in the key of B. It starts with this pattern. And it's this sort of chromatic bass line that's really implying a B minor chord. So if I'm going to solo in the key of B minor, a great scale to know would be your B minor pentatonic. And that would be up here at the 7th fret. You could play 2 notes per string and go 7, 10, 7, 9, 7, 9, 7, 9, then 7, 10, 7, 10. Now that's a scale pattern, and what you want to start to do is create melodies with that scale pattern. Now before we get into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I want to give you a gift. I put together this awesome fretboard guide that's going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales that I use to map out the entire fretboard. And this first pattern that I just showed you on the 7th fret, you're going to see on this page. And I want to give it to you completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide, or you can click the first link down below and get it as my gift to you. All right, so from there, you've got your scale pattern. And what you want to start to do is play melodies, and you can bend notes and do all kinds of cool things with those notes. So let me give you an example of how you could approach this. So there, I'm just pulling from different notes of the scale, and I'm trying to create a melody and create a solo. Now, using the notes in the scale is going to help me from sounding out, from hitting notes that sound like they're clashing against the chord progression. But keep in mind that even if you do hit some of those notes, it's still okay. Actually, a lot of players sometimes play notes out of the scale, but it's sort of how you land and how you recover. Now, before we go any further, I do want to talk a bit about the guitar sound that I'm dialing in here. And what it is my Fender Tele. I'm using just the bridge pickup, so this back pickup going into a distortion pedal and into a Leslie effect pedal. And this is a sound that Pink Floyd used all the time, and they would actually use like organ speaker cabinets, the Leslie cabinets, and it gives it this swirling, just floating sound, and it's great for lead parts. So that's the sound. Now from there, you might take the notes of the scale and turn it into a melody, and Gilmour might approach that like this. So that's the first lick there, and all of these notes are within that minor pentatonic scale. Check it out. We're going to bend the 9th fret of the 3rd string and then go to the 7th fret. So it's going to go. And that's it. Just those 2 notes right there, and it just has an iconic sound to it. And then I'm adding a little vibrato there, and then you can bend the 10th fret now on the 2nd string. That's going to go up a whole step. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And it's coming in on the and of 4. Then you go back to the 7th fret and go 7, 10 on the 2nd string, and then bend 9 on the 3rd string back to 7. So you might use index to pinky, that's probably a better fingering, and then 3rd finger on the bend on the 9th fret of the 3rd string, back to 7. So you got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and then you go. Now this moves up to the next pattern actually, and on my fretboard guide you'll see the different patterns. But here we're sliding into the 12th fret of the second string and then back to 10 on the first string and then 12 on the second string. So, and you just alternate there. So all together, this lick over the rhythm sounds like this. Again. All right, lick number 2 is not as busy. It's a little simpler, but it's got a great bend to it. We're gonna play the 12th fret of the second string and just go twice there, staccato, and then we'll bend the 12th fret on the first string, bring it up, then bring it down, and then back to that 12th fret on the second string like this. Here's what it sounds like with some rhythm behind it. And really we're just using 2 notes. The minor pentatonic there would go. So. Now the third lick I want to show you walks down, and this, I love this lick. It's got such a great sound to it. It sounds like this. So we're starting up high and actually walking down 2 octaves. We're gonna begin on the 10th fret of the first string and go 10, 12. Then jump to the second string and play 12, 10, the reverse of that. So it's. Now we start out with 8th notes on beat 4. We're gonna count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. Then we get to quarter notes after that. 1, 2. Then we end with 8th notes again. Now there's also some little grace notes in there. So once we go 12, 10, then we're gonna play 11 on the third string and do a quick slide down to 9, then 7 with a little pull, then 9 on the 4th string, 7, then another one of those grace note slides from 9 down to 7 on the 5th string, and then 5, 7 on the low E. Now there's certain notes in this pattern that I actually bend, and it has to do with the blues. You're gonna go. So adding those little bluesy pulls on this note particularly, and then that same note down the octave, and even when we start. And you could see that he's weaving, again, right through those patterns that you're gonna see on the fretboard guide. So here's what it sounds like with a little rhythm underneath. So those are 3 great Gilmour style licks. Now what I'm gonna do is just jam over this little bass line, this B minor vamp, and I'm gonna string these licks together and see if I can create my own solo, but building off of these licks. Here's what that sounds like. So take some of these licks and see if you can steal them and add them to your own vocabulary. And to help you put this together anywhere on the neck, be sure to grab my fretboard guide. It's completely for free, and this is going to be one of the most useful pages you can see for mapping out how to play anywhere on the neck, and it works for any style and in any key. Just go to johnmcclennan.com/fretboard guide, or you can click the first link down below as my gift to you. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and for more Pink Floyd, check out this video next.